This dude owe me money and now he went ghost. His brain to be butter when I get that toast. You thought I was playing when I told you pay me. One thing you should know is that I'm about my money.
Hi everyone. I was reading somebody's comments and they said that illegal aliens aren't hurting our economy any. And I said I beg to differ. So I started doing a little bit more investigating. And we're going to do, this is the Breitbart report. I'm going to do just one state. I mean, I got other states too I could do. So this is a report. Texas taxpayers pay billions for illegal aliens to use state services. A new report from the Federation for American Immigration Reform, FAIR, provided exclusively to Breitbart News, shows that Texans are footing a massive financial bill because of illegal aliens in the state. After a brief hiatus that coincided with the worst of the economic recession, Texas's illegal alien population is on the rise again. The opening paragraph of the report reads, there are about 1,810,000 illegal aliens residing in Texas, 70,000 more than resided in the state in 2010, when we estimated the fiscal burden at nearly 8.9 billion annually. Specifically, in 2013 alone, FAIR estimates Texans were on the hook for $12.1 billion because of illegal immigration in the state. That amounts to more than 1,197 for every Texas household headed by native-born or naturalized U.S. citizens, FAIR wrote. The taxes paid by illegal aliens, estimated at $1.27 billion per year, do not come close to paying for those outlays. An estimate of revenue from sales taxes, property taxes, alcohol taxes, and cigarette taxes. A breakdown of the costs showed that illegal aliens in Texas are accessing a wide variety of public services they are not supposed to have access to, placing a burden on the taxpayers throughout the state. For instance, FAIR found that annually the estimated 195,000 illegal alien students and 481,000 U.S.-born children of illegal aliens placed an $8.5 billion burden on the taxpayers for their education costs. Many of those students require special needs help with the English language too, driving the cost even higher for Texas taxpayers. Taxpayers also pay $1.9 billion per year to fund medical and other uncompensated health care programs that illegal aliens and their children are accessing in the state. Taxpayers spend another $1.1 billion to fund law enforcement efforts associated with illegal immigration, means tested social welfare programs for U.S.-born children of illegal aliens cost taxpayers another $47.8 million per year. Other basic government services for illegal aliens cost taxpayers $577 million more a year. FAIR estimates that any efforts to grant legalization to illegal aliens in Texas, which eventually would result in citizenship, as would happen under the Senate-passed Gang of Eight immigration bill and many of the plans that the House GOP leadership is trying to pass, would exacerbate the impact on Texas taxpayers. Instead of granting them amnesty, which is giving them legalization, FAIR said the only way to save Texans' hard-earned money, tax money, is to reduce the number of illegal aliens in Texas. Examining Texas's fiscal outlays for the perspective of the current debate over adopting an amnesty for illegal aliens, we find that the fiscal burden to taxpayers would not be significantly lessened, even if the amnesty like that proposed in the Senate's S-744 were enacted, FAIR wrote. In fact, it becomes clear that the only way to significantly reduce the fiscal burden is to reduce the size of the population that illegally entered in the country. State and local policymakers have options available to accomplish that objective. In Arizona, efforts to discourage the arrival of additional illegal residents and to hold employers accountable for knowingly hiring illegal workers have been effective in reducing the illegal alien population and thereby the fiscal costs associated with that population. In a press release accompanying the report's publication, FAIR President Dan Stein said that the cost burden of illegal aliens on taxpayer amounts to the money not being spent on Americans. The net cost of $10.8 billion to the state and local governments represents an enormous and unnecessary burden in the state that already ranks 50th in per capita spending, Stein said. That is money that is not being spent on other pressing needs such as improving schools or expanding and maintaining vital infrastructure. Stein called the Texas lawmakers in Washington to stop pushing for amnesty so as to protect the taxpayers in their state. Proposed amnesty legislation in Washington, which has the support of some Texas legislators, would only exacerbate the burdens on the state taxpayers, Stein said, because most illegal aliens in Texas are poorly educated, poorly skilled, would remain on low-wage jobs even after gaining legal status. However, over time, they would gain access to all means-tested benefits and assistance programs offered by the state and local government. This report helps arm Texans with proof that taxpayers are paying dearly for the administration's non-enforcement policies, while Republican leadership stands idly by. Texas members should use their power and influence to lead the efforts to enforce current immigration laws and reduce costly burdens on their constituents, rather than to cave to special interest demands for amnesty and more foreign workers. This is Fairsight right here. This is California. See, that was just Texas. I left a little bit out, but I'm going to leave the link so you could go back and read these, the rest of them. Illegal immigration costs California taxpayers more than $25 billion a year. And you know, I don't think that even includes all the U.S. born illegals, children that get Social Security, that are disabled. I don't think it counts all that. There's just so much more. I mean, they're sucking down our resources. You know, our HUD housing. They only have so many spots. Not only the HUD housing, but also the food banks, food pantries, all the other resources, shelters. You know, that's leaving the Americans totally out. You know, and we were born and raised here. And these people are coming here, they're crossing our fences. They don't belong here. If they do belong here, they need to do it the legal way. You know, just like everybody else did. But this is putting the Americans out. And this is the Americans paying for this with our taxes. We work to pay in the taxes that are paying for people to sit on their ass on welfare, get all the resources, and all we do is work ourselves into an early grave like slaves while they sit there and they keep having baby after baby after baby. You know, another argument that I have online all the time is, oh, well, what does it matter because you stole it from the Indians? First off, I am Indian. Second off, it's still a law. You're breaking the law. Well, I tell you what, like they say, uneducated. If you go through, you'll actually find out, and here's one link, that there were 3 types of people to begin with: Caucasoids, Negroids, and Mongoloids. And this is coming from the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. Gene diversity of Indian populations. Gene frequency data of 10 protein enzyme loci in 7 populations of India were collected from the literature. The gene differentiation among 7 populations relative to total population was only 0.6%, indicating that the genetic variation between populations was small compared to within them. Using 29 common protein loci, the genetic distances between Indians and 3 major races of man, Caucasoids, Mongoloids, and Negroids, were also determined. Indians are closer to Mongoloids than to Caucasoids, or Negroids, as indicated by the phylogenetic tree. I'm sure I mispronounced more than one word in this. I'm going to leave the links in the description box, and thanks for watching.